Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Retail Management Class 5. In last class, we have seen some of the key difference between retailing and wholesaling, and also we have seen how product retailing is different from service retailing. Okay, so in today's class, let us analyze some of the challenges in retail management. Well, success was never born out of shying away from a challenge. Well, without facing challenge, we cannot become a good competitor in an industry. And there are a lot of methods that retailer can adopt to create new opportunities and to build brand loyalty among their customer by having the right technology, by having the right tools. A retailer can come up with a new and innovative initiative to attract the more and more customers. Okay, an industry is a group of firms that we know and that markets different product and services. And competition is a key challenge in the industry. We know, and in order to survive in an industry, it is very necessary to understand the source of competition. So, firstly, we have to understand the source of competition that can help a firm or an organization to know its strength and weakness. So, by analyzing, or maybe I can say by knowing the strength and weakness of the company, we can analyze the current trends, uh, that the current events that are happening, or the current changes that are happening in the market or an industry that can make the firm to come up or to face the challenge with a better strategy, or I can say it can make, by analyzing the current trends in the market or in the industry, that will make a firm to position itself with the best strategy. Okay, so by having the knowledge of the current trends and by having a strategy to deal with the competition, we can uh, enjoy the highest share market in the industry. Okay, the most influential analytical model for assessing the nature of competition in an industry is Michael Porter's five force model. So Michael Porter's five force model, that it is well known, that you have already studied in marketing management, I hope. So it is easy to understand the models. So these five force model, this will analyze the framework of the challenges that as a retailer can face in the retail sector, or maybe in the business world. So there are five forces, that is threat of new competitors, threat of substitutes, bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of consumers, and intensity of rivalry among existing competitors. Okay, so let us see one by one. Threat of new competitors. Yes, it is not easy to enter into an any industry. Yes, so in order to enter into an industry, so we should have a proper adequate knowledge and we should have a proper adequate technology. So we should have a good strategy to enter uh, into an any industry, because there will be an existing company in that particular industry. So we should have, we have to face the competition from them, and they will be the competitors for us, and also we would be the competitor for existing companies in that particular industry too. Yes, it's not so it's not so easy to enter into an industry, because as I said, as a new entrant or as a new company, you'll be having a competition from the uh, product product or existing company in that particular industry. If that existing company is very popular, if that existing product has more number of customers, then it is very difficult for you to compete with them as a new entrant, because you have to attract the more and more customers. You have to attract the customers of the existing company. You have to attract them, and also it is very difficult for the customer to switch to the new product. Suppose if if the customer is very much happy with the existing product, your competitors, if you're happy with the competition your competitor product, then it is very difficult for them to switch to your product. Yes, so you have to make them to switch to your product. Yes, let me give an example for this. We know Coke. It is a well-known company in beverages. Yes, mainly when we think of Coke, it's all about Coca-Cola. Yes, Coca-Cola. So, when the Coca-Cola is popular, which has the highest market share in the industry, that time, uh, Bisleri, we know Bisleri is a company which had come up with the same kind of beverage, that is Fonza. Fonza, okay. Fonza is of similar to Coca-Cola, okay. So there was no difference, but the Fonza, I mean, Bisleri's Fonza, that did not work in the market, because almost all the customer were, very much happy with the Coca-Cola, and they were, the Coca-Cola has the highest number of consumers. Even the Bisleri Fonzo was not able to reach the customers, because of the you know because the customers did not want to switch to the new product. Okay, so I can say somewhere the distillery that did not work in the market. Okay, I'm talking about another example in the food service. Well, no, we know it as Pizza Hut and Domino's Pizza. Yes, so when Pizza Hut, okay, we know Pizza Hut. It's an old player in food service industry, and it was found in 1958. Okay, in US. We know it's of US company. Uh, and the entry of Domino's company at 1960. Okay, so in the 1958 Pizza Hut was found. So later, after 2 years, okay, so having the success of the same company, seeing the success of Pizza Hut, one more company, that Domino's Pizza, okay, come at the year 1960. Okay, uh, see, so it was very difficult for Domino's Pizza to compete with the Pizza Hut, because Pizza Hut, it was an existing company and it was very much popular. Yes, so that time Domino's Pizza, even it had used different strategy, and it also had attracted more customers. Now we can see Pizza Hut and Domino's Pizza, both of them are very famous, or they are very prominent in the food service industry. Yes, people always they go for Pizza Hut also and Domino's Pizza also. So here we can see what the strategy of Pizza Hut. It is totally different from Domino's Pizza. Okay, so both of them are following different marketing strategy. Okay, so that is how they are still popular in food industry. Okay, so that I can say, when the Domino's Pizza was introduced, that time it was also threat for Pizza Hut. At the same time, it was threat for Domino's Pizza also. Okay, it is talking about in point of attracting the customer of the existing, you know, product or the existing company. And talking about one more thing, that is investment. As a new entrant, you have to uh, find the new industry and you have to invest large capital. Okay, so in some industry the investment of capital is more. In other industry the investment of capital is very less. I can say when there is a high, in some industry there is a high threat, like if it is in shipping industry, we know in shipping industry you require high investment. To invest you require more capital to invest, because in shipping industry we can find, we can see a lot of companies are investing but not so much. Okay, and compared to other industries, we can see, um, the players who are uh, uh, the players who are running in that particular shipping industry, it is very less, comparatively less, other comparatively less than other industries. Okay, so there you have to purchase the equipments of shippings. So you'll be, you will have to invest more and more capital. As a new entrant, as a new company, for you it is not able to invest so much of amount also, and you will be you'll be scared of what if you lose, because when we talk about shipping industry, it is risky, right? So suppose if you invest, who knows if something happens. Okay, because of rain or because of flood, you don't know what may happen. If suppose tsunami comes or something like that, then it is, it will be a loss for shipping industry too. You cannot run ships always, right? So even it will be a risky business. So there the competitors are less, but you have, that requires huge capital investment. And it is not only about shipping industry, and also talking about airline industry too. Even in airline industry also, you'll have to invest, uh, you'll have to make high investment there. You'll have to invest more and more capital when comparing to other industries. Okay, and talking about in other sectors, like restaurant, if you're if you're starting or if you're opening a new restaurant, or any other retail outlets, like maybe a textile, or maybe any some shops, then there the requirement of capital is less. Okay, there you can make, it is that kind of retail outlets or that kind of product. It may not require huge investment there, so you can easily start, you can easily have the investment, and you can easily build the uh, new business there, right? You can have the new outlets, so without having huge investment. And yes, there are more competitors in that particular industry, but it's not so much, that you have to invest so amount, because it won't be too much risky also. But yes, there is a more competition, that you have to use different strategy, right? Next, talking about another thing, like acquiring new skills for the staff. Yes, so in order to survive in the industry, so in order to achieve the customer satisfaction, as I told, in order to gain the highest market share in the industry, so at least we should have a good strategy. we should have a competitive advantage or competitive strategy. So how we can build competitive strategy? Only with the help of skilled workers, only with the help of technology. So we should have a adequate technology, we should have a skilled workers. So in order to attract those skilled workers, it is also a challenge for you. So you have to attract the skilled workers, you have to find them, and you have to gain the technology also. Yes. So you have to attract the um, the employees, those who have competitive edge. Okay. So even that is also a very big challenge. And so I can say, if any new entrants or if any new competitors, even that is also a threat to the existing players. Because even that can even new entrants can decrease the profit share of existing players, or maybe sometimes even existing uh, company, that is existing player, even they will be the competitors for new entrants too. As I told you, because of existing company, sometimes a new entrants may fail to uh, gain the may fail to grab the market share in the particular industry. That time they have to close their business. Suppose if they fail to attract the customers, then uh, they have to go back to their product. Yes. Suppose that is also a new threat. So this is all about threat of new competitors. Okay, uh, talking about another key factor, that is threat of substitute. Substitutes are the product or the service that provide the same functionality. Okay, we can see the product which are similar. Okay, that we can call it as a substitutes. A successful product leads to creating other similar product. Definitely, as I told you in the previous factor, suppose if it is a if it is a existing company, if the existing product is very popular, okay, even that may leads to that may influence other uh, you know competitors to come up with the same kind of product. So I can give you, as I told, Pepsi that has come up with the Coca-Cola, and as I told you again, uh, Bisleri, even that when they came up with the uh, phones that did not work. And I gave you example of Pizza Hut and Domino's Pizza. Okay. And while entering into retail industry, so here one should understand, okay, here when you, as a new entrant or as a new company, when you're entering into a retail industry, you should understand how many uh, substitutes are available in the market. Okay, suppose if you are introducing, example, if you are launching a product like toothpaste. Okay, so suppose if you're coming up with the new toothpaste, so you have to see how many toothpastes are available, how many toothpaste companies are there in the market. There are a lot of companies, when suppose if you're coming up with the toothpaste, you will be having a lot of companies like Colgate, you have Meswag, you have Pepsodent, you have, and Dabur, you have Patanjali, you have. So there are a lot of toothpaste, right? So all of them are having a similar features. Yes. So you know as a new entrant, so you should think about it. So you have to analyze how how many substitutes are available, okay, in that particular market, and what strategy are following, and what is their weakness and what is their strength. You should know their weakness and strength too. So by knowing it, so at least you can build, at least you can now think, so what else you can add up, and what else strategy you can follow it to attract the customers. That is also one thing. Okay, and talking about the price of substitutes, so you have to think what is the price of the substitute. Yes. So here talking about the price, here suppose if you are introducing a product, suppose if existing product has suppose if the existing company is selling the product maybe at the more high rate. Okay, the price of the existing product is high. Okay, that time as a new entrant, you can try to give the same kind of product at the lesser price, maybe at a cheaper price you can give. Yes or no? That is also one kind of threat. So when your competitors are paying at very high price, okay, uh, so you can give them maybe at a less price. That is also a threat. And talking about the perception of consumer towards the substitutes. So there you have to think what is the consumer perception about those substitutes. That is like, you have to think what the customers are having the perception towards the existing product, that is substitutes. Okay, similar to your similar to your product, you'll be having existing company. So you have to think whether the existing product, okay, other products, okay, other similar products, whether they are having a good loyalty, whether the customers are having a good opinion towards those product. Suppose if they do not have a good opinion, then it is very easy for you to attract the customers. Yes. Example, just think that there are two smartphone companies where Akash smartphone. Okay, just think that Akash smartphone is a new entrance or new product in that particular industry, in smartphone industry, where Santosh smartphone is an existing smartphone company in that particular industry. So here we have, Akash smartphone and Santosh smartphone. So where the Santosh smartphone is an existing substitute in that particular industry. So here the customers are having a bad opinion uh, about Santosh smartphone. Maybe the quality of Santosh smartphone is not so much good, or maybe I know it is very difficult it is very difficult to use. So maybe because of other reasons, the customers are having a bad opinion on Santosh smartphone. So where the Akash smartphone, so this is a new company. So for Akash smartphone, okay, for them it is very easy to attract the customer, because for the Santosh smartphone company, the opinion of the customer is not so good. So by knowing their weakness, by knowing the weakness of Santu smartphone company, so as a Akash smartphone company, you can develop a new strategy and develop the new features, what else you require and what else is required to attract the customer. Okay, suppose if you find some features, if you add new features, whether customers will get attracted. Okay, so why they are not happy with that particular product? Suppose if you come to know that maybe the quality of that Santosh smartphone is not good, so maybe you can improve the quality. You will give a better quality as a Akash smartphone. So that is how you can uh, you know uh, uh, you can come up with the strategy, and you can easily compete with the existing company there. Yes, so here by advertising, by making effective advertisement and marketing, and investing in research and development for the product or services, a retail business can grab or maybe can elevate the highest position in the industry. Okay, so this is all because of a strategy that you have. It is all because of the the knowledge. You have to you should have a knowledge towards the substitutes, and you have to analyze the existing product too. And as an existing company, you have to analyze the strength and weakness of the new entrants too. You have to understand them, and you have to build you have to improve your strategy too. Okay, I can give you example here, and we have seen substitute for Google and Facebook, and both of them are no, it's a kind of social. It's a kind of social media platform there for the communication, and initially Dell had came, then after HP has come, then after Lenovo. Okay, even we can see, and next is about Samsung, then after Samsung, HTC. you know if you can find the similar features in both of them, that is Samsung and HTC. So these are some of the examples. Okay, so talking about the another factor, that is bargaining power of buyers. So buyers are very important for any company or any product. So without having buyers, so we cannot make effective sales, and it is useless. Yes, so no business is existed so without having buyers. So buyers are the people or the organizations who create a demand in an industry. Yes, when we have demand, then only we can, make the sales. Then only we can, supply. Suppose if we do not have demand, then where to sell? Where to supply the goods, or where to sell the goods, right? So it is very necessary to have a buyers in an industry. Okay, talking about the bargaining powers. The bargaining power of buyer is also described as the market outputs. This factor, this force analyzes to what extent the customers are able to put the company under pressure, and which also affect the customer's sensitivity to price changes. And the customers have a lot of power when there are not many of them, like when there are a few dominant buyers in that particular market, and there are many sellers in that particular industry. So that time they have when the customers have many alternatives to buy from. Yes, so when we can find few buyers in that particular industry, but when you have many sellers in that particular industry, as a buyer we have more we have more options, right? So as a buyer we have more options, so we can find any of the company. Yes, so here it should be easy for them to switch from company to another company. Ultimately, suppose if I'm, if I'm purchasing from one company, okay, maybe I'm not happy with that particular company's product. Suppose if another company comes, maybe I can switch easily. I can switch to another company, right? So I will be having many options. So buying power is low when the customer purchase product in small amounts, that is absolutely, and when the seller's product is very different from any of its competitors. And because of internet, okay, the internet has allowed customers to become more informed and you know and more empowered. So nowadays we can see, before we go to purchase a product, so we will always see the price. Yes, so why do we bargain? Why do the buyers bargain? Definitely they bargain only for the price, right? Nowadays we can see customers will always go for bargaining the product price. They always make price, you know bargain. So in order to spend a 1 rupee also on that particular product, so we will think, as a buyer we will think whether it is worth to worth to spend on that particular product or not. So nowadays we have online facility, so if we go to purchase something, so we will see the price of that particular product. Let's say for example, if I'm going to purchase a smartphone, okay, if I'm going to purchase a smartphone, then I will see the price of the same brand in the online also. What is the price of that particular product in online, and in offline also, I will compare the price of it, right? So that I know, if I come to know the exact price, and if I come to a similarity of the same product, then I will get a chance to bargain. Yes, maybe I can bargain with the seller. So here, as I told, because of internet, the customers are more aware, and they are more empowered, and customers can easily compare the prices online and get information about a wide variety of products and get access offers from other companies instantly. Yes, and companies can take the measure to reduce buyer power by for example, implementing loyalty programs or by differentiating their product and services. So example I can give you, see, bargaining power of buyers in the airline industry is high, because we can see uh, mm, their um, customers are less. When we talk about airline industry, the passengers or the travelers, they are comparatively less than other uh, other transports, like uh, uh, railway or bus. Okay, the passengers who are comparatively less, those who travel in airline industry, airlines or aircraft, than railway industry or any other, okay, bus. So in that case, we can find in airline industry there are more companies are there, but the buyers or the customers are very less. Okay, so when we have online facility, we will see the price of different companies, air ticket. So we will see which company offers, which company has offer, so which company provides the tickets at less. So we will compare the price of all the airlines, then we will see. Yes, so if that is the case, for the airline industry, it is difficult for them to attract the buyers. So as I told, the bargaining power of buyers in the airline industry is high. As I told, customers are able to check the price of different online companies. First, to many online facilities, they can make the comparison by having different websites. And also in addition to that, there are not any switching cost involved in that process, and customers nowadays are likely to fly with different carriers to and from their destination. If that would be lower the cost, then brand loyalty seem to be high, right? And some airline companies are trying to change this with the frequent flyer programs that will aimed at rewarding customers that come back to them from time to time. Yes, even we can see in airlines companies are giving offers also, like some maybe from some discount. They'll give 10% discount or something like that they give. Suppose if they travel in the same particular train, sorry, in the same particular airline, maybe they'll have a discount, maybe a 50% or something like that. They will be having a offer. That is how the companies will attract the buyers or the customer. So that time you'll be having a buying, bargaining power. Only in few industry you have nowadays, because we have a number of companies or number of competitors in the industries, and the customers or in other industries are more. So here, as a company, as a new entrant, you have to think few things, that is how large market share the retail company has. You have to think of the market share of the company. You have to analyze it, and also you have to analyze the size of consumers in that particular company, because that is the number of consumers that totally depend on the sales. And um, and also you have to see how many other retail competitors are in the same product line, as I given the example for you know airline industry. Even that is also, so you have to see the retail competitors, other retail competitors also you have to see. Okay, so this is all about the bargaining power of buyers. This is also one of the challenge for the retailer to attract the customers. Okay, then talking about the next. So here talking about suppliers. So here it can be a supplier, maybe one who supplies raw materials or the product. Okay, mainly this is just talking about the some assembles or maybe some raw materials. Okay, this force analyzes how much power or the control a company supplier has towards the potential or maybe the customers, because to raise its price or maybe to reduce the quality of the purchased goods or service, maybe which is in turn it would decrease the uh, profitability potential of that particular industry. And talking about the power of supplier that determine the concentration of supplier and the availability of substitute. Okay, here the concentration of supplier and the availability of substitute of suppliers, that are very important factor that determines supplier um, power. So example, the bargaining power of suppliers in airline industry is considerably very high when looking at the major inputs or the raw materials that airline companies need. We can see that they are especially depend on the fuel, right? Fuel and aircrafts. These inputs, however, are very much affected by the external environment over which the airline companies themselves have little control. And the price of aviation is also, even it is also subject to it will be fluctuated always. We can see a lot of fluctuation in that particular price of aviation in global market, and which can change widely because of uh, political factor or maybe geographical factors. Okay, in terms of aircraft, for example, the only two major suppliers exist, that is Boeing and Airbus. So Boeing and Airbus, there are the major suppliers in the airline industry. So both of them have substantial bargaining power on the price they charge. Okay, this is all about the bargaining power of supplier. This last force of Porter's five forces, which examines how intense the current competition is in the marketplace or in the industry, which is totally determined by the number of existing competitors and what each competitors is having a capability of doing it. And talking about rivalry is when rivalry is high when there are a lot of competitors that are roughly equal in size and also equal in power. When the industry is growing slowly and when the consumers can easily switch to a competitors offering for a little cost. That is exactly, suppose if a company is offering something new, or company is coming up with the new feature. Let's say, suppose if I'm using a let's say if I'm using a Vivo smartphone, okay, or maybe in maybe tomorrow another company called Redmi or Oppo, even which has a which will come up with a new smartphone with the new feature, okay, than the Vivo what I'm using, which is totally different, and the price of the product is also reasonable. So maybe I will switch on to new product. I will not purchase I will not purchase a Vivo. Maybe I will go for uh, Oppo or maybe Redmi. So talking about the smartphone industry, so we can mainly find the competitors among the smartphone industry like Samsung, Redmi, Vivo, Oppo, and the key competitor is Apple. That's also one of the popular and the yes, and the company which has a good image and which is a innovative, which always makes innovation in that in their product lines, and they're every day they're investing too much on recent development, and they're coming up with the new software. They have developed their own software, right? So it is something like to compete with the other companies, okay. And according to Porter's framework, the intensity of competitive rivalry is high, little high, if the number of competitors is high in the market, or maybe if the industry growth rate is high, or maybe the fixed cost are high in that particular industry, or the switching costs are high in that particular industry. So in these cases, the intensity of competitive rivalry is high. And in the retail coffee industry, the barriers to entry in that particular industry, which is very low, because anyone can place, and anyone can enter into that particular industry, and anyone can start, anyone can buy the machine, and anyone can sell the coffee, right? So with many retail coffee shops, okay, and the number of competitors in this particular industry is very high, because as I told, the entry of this particular entry is very low. Anybody, we don't have much, what the factors, we don't have much barriers to entry. Okay, easily we can invest, and easily we can start. Because of that, the number of competitors in this particular industry is high. So in case most of the coffee houses, they use beans and other ingredients to create different blends of coffee, but the end customers, they are not able to tell the difference, okay. And some coffee houses, they mix some ingredients with the coffee beans, and they make it, and the ultimate consumers, they are not able to tell the difference. So I can give you example for this. We can find the key coffee retail players in the industry are Nescafe and brew brew cafe. So brew coffee. So what we can find, so the taste of the brew coffee and brew instant and uh, Nescafe, so both of them are, the taste wise it is different. Some there is a little difference among the product. Okay, then what we taste in Nescafe and what we taste, we have a taste of uh, having a brew which is different. Okay, maybe both of them they use different ingredients. They may mix something else in that you know to the coffee beans. Okay, and that is how the customers are not able to find the you know the product difference. Okay, they may mix, and it also, it would be cost the customers nothing to switch from one brand to another. Yes, and even the price of the product, even they both of them also they have the same kind of price. Maybe the taste what we have, maybe suppose if I'm very much happy with the brew coffee, then maybe the price of the particular is same as the Nescafe also. So when I'm using this, maybe I feel that I am the price of this is the same thing, so why to switch that product? So maybe by having it, maybe we won't find that much happy. Okay, so that is what, so it would cost the customer nothing to switch from one brand to another brand in the switching cost. So the factors combined will result in high intensity of competitive rivalry in the industry. Okay, so these are the five factors um, of Michael's five force model. So it is very important to remember that the five force analysis gives you a snapshot in time of an industry's profile potential, and the behavior of these forces may change over time depending on external factors like political factor and regulations on rules, or maybe the external changes, or maybe government policies. Okay, so according to Porter, you only need one highly negative structural force to make an industry unattractive. And in other words, I can say there is low potential for profit for an average firm in the industry. Why? Because each high structural force means high competition for the profit in that particular industry. So these are the a few challenges that we can find in the um, retail industry. Okay, so there are other challenges too, so let us have a discussion in the next video lecture. So thank you for watching it, and thank you for listening. If you have any queries or if you have any comments, please mention your comments below. And I hope you have understood. Suppose if you have any doubts, you can personally ask me. Okay, and have a good day.